If you like something like Terre Hermes, then you'll love this because it blows it out of the water. So let's review Bon Parfumeur 601. Hey, what's good guys? Hunter here and welcome back to the channel where I upload weekly fragrance content, so you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button down below and also make sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. So today we are reviewing another fragrance from the house of Bon Parfumeur. This one is 601, which is part of their Woods collection. And guys, Bon Parfumeur has easily become one of my favorite niche fragrances of all time. It's such a well-balanced French niche house that creates so many good fragrances from the ones I've tried. 601 was a fragrance I sampled maybe a year or so ago and right away fell in love with it and knew I had to have a bottle, and I finally do. And like I said in the intro guys, this is a very similar scent profile to something like Terre Hermes, being a citrus kind of woody vetiver fragrance, but this is a more evolved version of that scent profile and probably the best take on that scent profile I've smelled to date. And dare I even say, I think this is even better than Sospiro Basso and even Louis Vuitton's Orage. And you know me, Louis Vuitton's my favorite designer house of all time, so that does hurt to say. And I also do want to shout out Bon Parfumeur for sending this one over for review. Of course, that's not going to change my opinions. If I like the fragrance, I like it. If I don't, I don't. It's as simple as that, guys. So let's go with some information now. 601 was launched back in 2017, so it has been around for quite some time now. As far as the retail price on this one, you can pick up a 100 ml bottle for $120. Let's talk about that for a second. That is such a huge value in the niche world, guys. That's even cheaper than Hermes's Terre Hermes at retail, which is mind-blowing. So if you're somebody thinking about picking up Terre Hermes at retail, think again and try this one out. One of the best bangs for your bucks in the perfume world. For the concentration, this is an eau de parfum, so you know you are getting a highly concentrated fragrance because obviously it's higher concentrated than like an eau de cologne and an eau de toilette, which is always good. The perfumer that created this one is Nathalie Cubis, which I'm not really sure of any other fragrances that she's made that I've tried, but I do know she's created a few fragrances for Bon Parfumeur. With all the information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you're going to get with 601 now. Take a look at the box. It is a very minimalistic, simple box, but it does come across very classy. Of course, in the Woods collection, you do have this green stripe around 601. Vetiver, cedarwood, and bergamot is the three main notes you're going to get with this one. Listed on the front, eau de parfum 100 ml bottle. On the bottom of the box, you do have your information as well as a batch code. Nothing really on the sides. On the back, some information, woody intense, and the barcode as well. And these are made in France with love. And then nothing on top. So let's look at the bottle now. All right, take a look at the bottle, which I actually love the aesthetic of these Bon Parfumeur bottles. Very classy, French looking. Of course, you have the same kind of green stripe on the front with the same information. On the bottom, you will find your sticker as well as a batch code. Nothing on the back. On top, you do have the Bon Parfumeur kind of embossed in that cap. Nothing inside of the cap, nothing on the atomizer, and these do hold on by friction extremely tight. In the top, you have bergamot, grapefruit, and pink pepper. In the mid, you have pepper and violet. And in the base, you have vetiver, cedarwood, and sandalwood, and this will be classified as a green spicy. So let's spray this and test out these atomizers. Decent atomizer, honestly not the best, but it does get the job done. So let's go ahead and remind myself of 601. Yeah, this opening comes across extremely fresh. Of course, when I listed that note breakdown, it shares so many similar notes to Terre Hermes, Orage, and Basso, and it is in the same profile, guys, but I'll be honest with you, all three of those have nothing on 601 because in this opening, you're gonna get this to die for tart, bitter bergamot, and grapefruit combination together. Just very green, juicy, and this actually smells so natural. I'm not sure if they're using natural bergamot and grapefruit, but it definitely smells like it. You can tell they use such high quality perfume oils when they made this one. I'm honestly not getting much of that pink pepper. It's not necessarily spicy right off the bat. It does turn a little bit spicy as it dries down, but so far, guys, a photorealistic bergamot and grapefruit is what you're gonna get immediately when you spray 601. And by the way, this was my scent of the day today, and I wore it throughout the day. I was like, yeah, I have to review this immediately. As we start transitioning into the mid is when it actually starts to become spicy from that pepper, and it's more like a black pepper note is what I'm getting. And pepper is also listed in Basso and Terre Hermes, so you're getting that familiar mid in 601, and it's crazy because honestly, I'm not even a fan of Terre Hermes. I've never been a fan of Terre Hermes, so you know this one is a banger if I like this one despite the scent profile. And it's not a clone of Terre Hermes either, because I enjoy this fragrance so much compared to Terre Hermes. Just shares a very similar DNA, kind of like a genre of fragrance, just like Basso and Orage by Louis Vuitton. Which all three are not clones, just very similar in scent profile, being a citrus, woody, vetiver fragrance. Then finally, when you make your way into the base of 601 is when you're going to get that very woody cedarwood note, along with a earthy, dry, also woody vetiver as well. And vetiver is a very complex note. Sometimes it can come across dry, wet, earthy, grassy, woody. This one though is very dry and woody vetiver. And for me personally, I'm not picking up on really any of that sandalwood, which isn't a bad thing for me. Sandalwood can go in a direction that I'm not always a fan of, but thankfully, you're mostly going to get the vetiver and cedarwood. And that black pepper is still there, giving it a nice spiciness while it dries down. Just seriously the best take on that scent profile. And I'm going to say it again, if you love Terre Hermes, do yourself a favor and check out 601 because you will not be disappointed. So for the best seasons to rock 601, for me guys, I'm primarily wearing this one in 3 seasons, which is the fall, spring, and summertime, because it's not really something so dense and dark that you can be pulled off in like a snowy winter day. But the fall time easily perfectly because it's woody, earthy, spicy, and also the spring and summer because of how green, fresh, and citrusy this fragrance is as well. So at the end of the day, it is pretty versatile and can be worn all 4 seasons if you wanted to rock it as a signature scent without any hesitation. I just think that those 3 seasons fit this one the absolute best. For occasion with 601, this is actually very versatile as well when it comes to that. You can dress this one down, and you can easily dress this one up. It kind of just suits whatever you're wearing for the day pretty much. That's always nice to have a kind of a fragrance that always got your back, regardless of what you're doing and what you're wearing, and that's it with 601. I could picture wearing this one with jeans, shorts, a hoodie, a t-shirt, and I can also picture this one in wearing something formal like a button-up, a suit, or even a tuxedo, going to a nice event, a wedding, something along those lines, and can be pulled off during like a nice date. I would probably say though more like during the day kind of date rather than like a nighttime. It's not really a sexy kind of nighttime sweet fruity fragrance. So if you're going to like a date in a park or going to get like lunch or getting coffee in the morning, perfect date fragrance right here. For gender with this one, I believe all of the fragrances from Bon Parfumeur are targeted as unisex. But for me guys, 601 does lean on the masculine side of things. There's nothing really feminine about this one at all. When I smell this one, I do picture a guy rocking it. And that just goes for this well-known scent profile in general. Just a very masculine scent DNA through and through. So it does lean masculine, even though if you are a woman watching this, you like Terre Hermes, you like those citrus, vetiver, woody fragrances, you could check it out as well. There's nothing saying you can't, but this is one of them that does lean on the masculine side. For age groups with 601, I believe this one is more on the mature side of things. This is just a very mature, kind of gentlemanly scent DNA that I honestly don't really picture like the youthful people enjoying that much, like teenagers, early 20s. Maybe 25 and up appreciating this fragrance the most. It just gives off like country club, wealthy, kind of got their life together kind of fragrance to me. Which obviously when you think of that, you think of a more mature person, and that's it with this. So wrapping the review off, talking on the performance you should expect from 601. Like I said, this was my scent of the day today at the time of the recording. So I am very familiar with the performance. For me guys, on longevity, I got a solid 6 hours of very strong longevity. And I'm not talking about like if you put your nose up to your arm and where you spread it, you can still smell it. No, I'm telling you, for like 6 hours, you can still smell it easily without digging your nose into the fragrance. So that is very good, especially for a scent profile like this. Even though it is slightly below average from my testing, I like to kind of categorize it as 8 hours as average. Anything above that's above. Anything below 8 hours is below average, but still very solid and not a weak fragrance by any means. And for the projection, I got about average moderate projection with this, which basically just means that when you're standing still, you are gonna get people around you that smells this fragrance and will probably ask you what you're wearing. And when you're walking around as well, you're gonna leave this very classy, sophisticated scent trail behind you wherever you go. It just isn't really a fragrance that's gonna fill a room and be nuclear, but it's also not a very intimate kind of closed scent bubble fragrance either. It does push off of the skin fairly nice for the first couple hours. Just an outstanding, classy, natural, very high quality smelling fragrance that does perform a very respectable. And I can't believe more people have not talked about 601. It actually blows my mind because this stuff is stunning and pretty much under the radar. So that's going to do it for my review of Bon Parfumeur 601. Let me know down below if you have any experience from this house. What's your favorite from the house if you do? And if you're going to check out 601, I'm very curious. So let's talk about that down below. And I'm also going to be reviewing some more from this house in the future because I'm thoroughly impressed. Besides that though, leave a like, subscribe down below if you haven't already. And of course, I'll catch all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.